on the sense of time, there is no time. Time is a conscience that has been implanted into the minds of human beings to represent a sort of a slave system where the time is constantly in your head, where you're always have to be on time in the time zone. But there is no time. It doesn't exist. It goes by cycles. Everything exists in the universe by cycles. So each cycle represents a movement of evolution. That's how it works.
Okay, that kind of goes into really about the whole control and the programming. I mean, doesn't that all get kind of put in at the very, very beginning?
Yeah, it did, yeah. And there's a lot of things that go in with it, there's a lot of poisons put into your, toxins put into your food, your water, your air. They have implants in the body, viruses in the body that control the conditioning of the mind. So you think a certain way, you act a certain way towards others, and this is how you give your energy towards others.
Can I go back really quick and just ask you on, you mentioned the implants in the body. How did those, are those there from the foods and from the air? Is that how they got in there?
Yeah, from the air, bioengineering from chemtrails, which is sprayed all over the planet to try to drench the planet with heavy toxins. So the natural organic substance of the universe sort of disintegrates into this synthetic substance, which takes away our divine divinity. So we can't connect it to the source of prime creator, the source of all life, to the source of all life. Every organic human being connected to the source of all life. You're a being in a body. Your body is a suit that permits you to be here in a third dimensional realm, which makes you able to touch, sense, see, and feel in the sense of understanding emotions.
So, we talk about the whole control, so that's part of that, but can we go back to sort of like the beginning of, we know that I've heard this, that the radio, the TV, all the sound waves we're being programmed through commercials, through other avenues of the government, just in general. Can we really kind of go, so I think people have an idea that we have, because that's in order to get to the mastery of sovereignty, it's like to really realize that we have been controlled all this time and programmed to be able to have them keep us confined.
Yeah, so it's like a record. It plays over and over and over. It's like the seasons where you have celebrations. The celebrations continue to play over and over and over, and these celebrations have huge impact on the actual cabals reaching a timeline that they want to reach to stay in control, because everybody gives their energy to them under these celebrations, under programming of TV, under the raw material that exists on the planet. The cabal were using these raw materials for their advantage, for you to have wants and not being able to access these wants. So the more you couldn't access these wants, the more you wanted it, and the more you tried to have it. It could be anything, the new gadgets and stuff. But everything was forfeited to suppress the being to give their energy away, and not to rule over their own sovereignty and their own divinity. You are the original blueprint of yourself. You are connected to the divine creator of all things, and you need to access this again. And this is what's coming about today. Today, things are going to change, and you're going to regain your sovereignty, and you're going to step into your divinity. And when you step into your divinity, you become sovereign. And as you become sovereign, you start to realize how powerful that you are as a human being, because you're the image of Prime Creator. Every organic human being is. Now, there's, on the other side, there's the synthetic side, which they have developed to counteract and to dumb down the human being in thinking that he's worthless. This is an ongoing thing. It's an ongoing program that exists everywhere in the world. And they do it through religions, they do it through culture, they do it through science, they do it through so many different things, education. And there's always a leader, you know, there's always someone leading somebody and trying to control power. But what they were doing was they were stealing this power from everybody else. And this power will be taken off them and given back to the people, because really at the end of the day, you know, the power belongs to the people, for the people, to the people. And you know, to step into your sovereignty, you need to understand that you're a divine being. You're a god and a goddess. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring everybody into the fourth dimension of reality. So people will be able to see what has been hidden from you by these beings that are here. And they have taken the power away from humanity and kept it for themselves. And there's a lot of other things that's been going on as well, through the child trafficking, you know, all the bad things, if you like, you know, the gun trafficking, drug trafficking, child trafficking. They do certain, in order to stay in power, they have it's done by black magic, it's done by satanic rituals, and they have to have a sacrifice. So this sacrifice goes into a very it's a very specific set of rules and protocols that they have to follow. And what the population don't understand is they need their consent in order for this to happen. Now, they ask for their consent in different ways, by lying to you and putting it in a sense of reverse, so you don't see the truth. And you give the consent without even knowing that you're giving the consent, because you don't speak up. So if you see a crime being committed and you say nothing, well then you're more involved in that crime than the person who's committing the crime, because you're keeping silent about it. Therefore, you're letting the crime be more than what it is. So you're more involved in that crime than the person actually having the rage at that present moment, that is not in a state of sane sanity. So this needs to be understood as well. So as we bring you into the fourth dimension and we open up what is not seen by the seen eye, there's much more to see on the unseen eye than there is of the seen eye. So as people start to realize and see things, and the truth comes out, because we're going to bring out the truth. This is all about bringing out the truth. And as the truth comes out, people will start to realize that they are much more than what they are. And then as they go through the fourth dimension of reality, they will regain their sovereignty, and they will start to understand how to step into the divinity of their essence, of their pure divine right of a god and a goddess, because you're all god and goddesses. You have your kingship and your queenship, and you know, this needs to be understood by everybody. Now, there is other beings on the planet as well that are not organically human. They're synthetic. There's many different types. There's clones, there's cyborgs, there's so many different things. But they will fade out, because the energy that's coming in from Prime Creator is is resonating on a very high frequency. And this frequency, when you can't sustain the frequency, they'll fade out. So this is what's going to happen, and everybody's going to see this. So this is going to be a big event, the biggest event that's ever occurred on humanity. It's a good thing for everybody.
Yes, yes. Well, and they've used a lot of fear too. We talked about that yesterday. There's a lot of fear that has been instilled in us as well.
Absolutely, it's all based on fear. So fear will stop you from doing the right thing, or speaking up, or anything at all. Once you have fear inside you. Now, fear comes from a lot of different things. Fear can be based on programming, from TV, films, real life. You know, people go to bed and they literally lock themselves in a cell. You know, they shut down everything, they lock themselves in. So they're locking themselves in a cell, really. That's what, because of fear, you know. They're terrified of the unknown, they're terrified of whatever, because they've been programmed that way. They've been programmed to be afraid of everything. So that will subside as we step into the fourth dimension of reality. Right now, we are stepping into that dimension. We've been living in the third dimension of reality for a very long time, and third dimension on a frequency resonates about 14 hertz. So you can't really, and they used a lot of chemicals, synthetic chemicals, to stop you connecting from your higher self. So that's what they've done. Now this is all being eliminated, and the toxins are being cleaned up all over the planet, and they're going to replenish the seas with the fish, and to put back everything to its original state. This will be done very quickly.
So, and you're talking about the energy, so we're in that right now, where that's going to all start to change, and we're going to start to see the truth starting to come out due to these energies that are in. I know Rick and I were talking about that as well. So this is a really powerful time, is what you're saying, and that's going to help with this transition.
Oh, absolutely. Every individual, now this is an individual basis. This is when the individual wakes up to their true self. They start to awaken by themselves. It's not something that's going to be, you know, forced on you or anything like that. You will awaken by yourself to your own divinity, your own truth, and you'll awaken through your dream state. When you go to bed at night, you rest your body. You never die. You're always alive. You're a spirit. You're a being, a very powerful being. But in the physical body here on the planet, you know, you come here to experience life and to understand pain and suffering, and also to have an amazing life as well. That's what you're here for. But we've been counteracted by a dark beings. No, I haven't said that. All dark beings are gone from this universe. Every single one, light body and other. The only beings that are left are the minions that worked for these people, these other beings, and the cyborgs and the clones and all that type of stuff. But they will fade out eventually. You know, these are the guys that are working in the banks, they're working in governments, they're working in labs and stuff like that. You know, but they're all destroyed now. All the underground labs, they're all destroyed. They're all dismantled. So right now we're going to go into phase 2, and we're going to bring the truth out about everything that's been going on, and people are going to be in a big shock, a huge shock. The angels and the light workers, the ones that are already awake, they will pass forward to the next stage in helping the cleanup and bringing every healing. You're all healers. You're all, you know, you have great gifts. Everybody's got great gifts when they're born. They're born with gifts to help others and to improve life and to have a better life. You're all love beings. It's what you're created from unconditional love. And this has been counteracted by the dark with low vibrations, which consist of negativity, fear, hate, jealousy, all these type of things, which encloses a human being into a low frequency. In a low frequency, you will never ever access a higher frequency or take part in the galactic beings, with sharing technology, sharing the divinity of greatness, you know, which you are, which everybody is.
Well, and two, you know, that we have heard about the human trafficking and the Pizzagate. There's things that have come out, so we are starting to. And one thing I want to mention too, you mentioned yesterday that about Donald Trump, that he is bringing back the Constitution. You know, that he really what it was really meant to stand for, that really didn't happen. That kind of got switched around, but he's
the Constitution was taken over by the American corporation, and they ruled over America with the Trinity, which is the Washington D.C. and the Vatican and the Royals. That was their trinity of under the satanic cult. Now, the President Trump has undone what they have done in the legislation. He's undone everything, and what he's done is he's given back to the people the Constitution of America, which was forefounded by the fathers. So America right now is sovereign, completely sovereign, where before it was owned by the corporations, and the corporations were stealing the money from America and all around the world, and they were using it for their own projects to kill the people of the population so they could take over the planet for themselves. This will not happen. Yeah, they use certain types of language, and they change the language for people to be more and more dumbed down. You know, you have to understand, words are spells, and they're very powerful. Your thoughts are very powerful. They echo through the whole universe, and the universe gives you what you want. So, with all this mumbo jumbo going in your head, you're constantly asking the universe for something different all the time, because your mind's being changed to the programming, not even realizing that this is happening. And they do change the wording on certain things, so you wouldn't realize what's been going on. Like I was saying to you the last time about shell shock. So back in World War II, you know, when someone came home from the war, they were shell shocked, you know, from trauma. They were traumatized to see the actual horrific horror that was displayed on humanity in that war. And as we moved forward in the future, they changed that shell shock to collateral damage, which has nothing got to do with shell shock. So basically, by saying collateral damage, you're just basically swiping past the horror and leading into something else. So I'm just on an interview here. Can you just give me 10 minutes, please? Thanks. So things like that, in that sense, changes the perception of a mind to really understand what sovereignty is. Because most people talk about sovereignty over a government. The government has no right to have any sovereignty. Nobody has no right to have any control over anybody. They never did, and they never will. It's an illusion, and people play into this illusion over fear, because fear is the only thing they can actually have you on. Without fear, they can do nothing, absolutely nothing. They base everything on fear, and fear comes from, energetically, comes from a lot of things. One of them is flesh. I'm going to touch on this. Okay. So, as we go through the ages, we used animals for the purposes of surviving and nourishing our bodies, and they took this to a next level in the sense where they mistreated the animals. They gave them poison and toxins, and as these animals were slaughtered and they drew their last breath in fear. When the person comes along and eats the flesh, it's not just full of toxins, but also energetically, it has tons of fear in it. So when you eat the flesh of that animal, you take in the energetics in the animal as well, not just the toxins. It's riddled with every known toxin on the planet, and toxins that's been created in labs that nobody knows about, that is in your body. Some of these toxins are nanobots. These nanobots are created by the Freemason Lodge, which is the Jesuits connected to the Vatican. They rule the world banks, and they rule the money source and everything else that has to do with the dark agenda. These devices, nanobots, are very small, microscopic nanobots, basically. And what they do is they control the body and they control the mind through the programming of the TV, radio, and other education, other forms of development, if you like. So you stay away from your sovereignty. You don't rule over yourself, your kingship, your queenship. You put yourself down all the time, and you dislike yourself. This is what they want. This is how they want you to feel. So we're going to reverse all this. You're going to feel brilliant about yourself. You're going to love yourself. This is very, very important. If you can't love yourself, how are you supposed to love someone else? How are you supposed to express true, divine, unconditional love? That's where you came from. You're created in that. You are all love beings. That's why everybody at some stage loves something. Do you want to be in love? Do you want to have a relationship of divine love? They think about it all the time, but it never happens because they don't step into divinity. They don't rule over their own sovereignty. And they give their energy away constantly every single day to others. And this is has to be recognized, you know. And the consent, you have to understand, people give consent to these people without even knowing they're giving consent. And people need to realize that, you know, they need to realize it. Governments don't have control over nothing. They're, you know, they do it by force over the people because they have more money, they have more control, they have more resources, and they keep people in a box. They make legislations, rules, regulations, so they stay in that box and they don't come out of the box. But this time we're opening the cell gates and we're letting everybody out. You're free. You're going to be free. Everybody's going to be freed to do what they want. Now, for the first time, your higher self is going to ascend into your physical body, and your physical body is going to be crystalline, and it's going to be crystal liquid. So you're going to go from carbon to crystal liquid, and when that happens, you will come in turn in your physical body. So you ascend with your physical body, your suit. This is your suit. This is your spacesuit, and you'll be able to travel anywhere in the universe with it. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Now it's always been. It's always been that way. It's new to the population because they've been in captive, enslaved for a very long time. But before that, you were all gods and goddesses walking around the planet in Atlantis, and this time is going to come back again, and you're all going to see with your eyes. You're going to be able to touch it. You're going to be able to smell it, and you're going to be 100% convinced what it is. There's no more illusions anymore. You know, the dark were experts on duplication, mirror image, and illusions, and they've been exploiting these illusions for such a long time. And this is all going to come to an end because we're going to expose everything. The truth is going to be exposed. That's why they have all these indictments, because these indictments are being unsealed right now, and all these people that most people believed in and they looked up to have committed huge crimes against humanity, huge horrific crimes against humanity, and these are going to be exposed and they're going to be dealt with. Yeah, okay, so well, that as time goes in now, people will waken up and they'll start to understand what I'm saying to themselves. They'll wake up to their own truth. This is not someone coming along forcing to do something, or, you know, a new age religion or anything like that. This is truth coming to surface in the planet Mother Gaia, in the human beings, and each individual will wake up to their own truth. And as they wake up to their own truth, they'll understand their divinity. They'll understand their higher self, because that's what they're waking up to. They're waking up to their higher self. Now the veil is lifting, because they put a sort of like dark black magic all over the world, and it stopped people from accessing their higher divinity. They were enchained in slavery and into a debt system of slavery. So this is going to be evoked by Prime Creator. Well,
you guys are there to help us, I know.
Yeah, the population is going to be helped to do that, you know, and like I say, each individual will wake up to their true self, and their higher self will be connected to them. So they'll be able to understand a little bit more as they go through the fourth dimension of reality, and what they couldn't see, they will start to see. And when they start to see it, then they're going to be more concerned about their own self and their own divinity and their own sovereignty. And when these things come into play and they start to understand, then they're going to step in to their sovereignty. And the banking system is going to change. We have a new quantum financial system. Now, for a little bit more of an understanding, the new quantum financial system is not what people may think it is. It's organic. Everything is organic. It is the way the universe works. The dark try to duplicate it into an authentic substance that has nothing got to do organic at all. So it's synthetic. So they're trying to manipulate the population in saying that synthetic is just as good as organic. And they were taking over the planet in doing that and making everything synthetic. So you would lose your divinity. And you would completely, literally, wouldn't have a clue what divinity is. You wouldn't have a notion. And you'd be changing from organic to synthetic, riddled with toxins, which would put you into a state of sickness with diseases and everything else. And this is what they've been doing. And these are all created in labs, you know. They spend a lot of time sitting around the table figuring out how they're going to put the population into extreme poverty. And that's what they've been doing, as you can see. Anybody with an open eye can see that, you know. So this is all going to change, because we're going to expose the truth. And I mean we as human beings, because the human beings themselves are going to wake up and they're going to see, okay, there's something really wrong here. This is not right. I can't put my finger on it, but I know it's not right. This is not the way to live. And they're waking up on a daily basis all over the world, and they know. And when in the very near future, everything's going to change. The banking system is going to unfold on itself. The stock exchange is going to unfold on itself, because you can only lie so much before the truth comes out. You know, when you put lies on top of lies on top of lies on top of lies, at some point people go, oh, hold on a second, I can't be right. I can't be right. And as the energy comes in onto the planet and Mother Gaia raises her energy, because Mother is alive, She's a being like you and me. She's divine, and she's given and given and given and given to everybody for everything. Now she's healing, and she's healing very nicely. And as she heals, she pushes up the energy that she's resonating. And as the people start to awaken in their true divinity, they will resonate on this frequency that's been given out onto the planet. And the frequency that's coming in from our beloved Father is going to wipe out negativity. So when you're going to wake up in the morning, you're not going to be negative anymore. You're going to be positive, because you're creators. It's what you are. You're born to create reality. You're born to express the gifts that you've been born with. Everybody's born with beautiful gifts. They're poets, they're singers, they're writers, they're entertainers, and this is what life has been given us. And we've been given everything. Everything was organic, and we are organic. So we have to live in an organic state for us to be healthy, to be supreme. That's the way it is. So this is all going to be put back into its original state of consciousness, because everything is everything is energy. Everything is energy. So on the sense of money, funds is energy. So when you were born into the world, you were born into a state of energy for the planet. And what they done was they registered you with a birth cert, took the birth cert and put it on the stock market as energy. And this energy they used for themselves, for their own greed. And they didn't tell the person what they were doing. And they did it through the church, the religion, the cultures, the education, everything set up, and it changed over time. Because as people awakened over time, every couple of centuries, people are waking up, they changed the rules, they changed the things, thinking that the people won because they spoke out saying something's not right or whatever. So they changed it in a way where the people would think, okay, we got away now, we got what we wanted. But no, you just changed the cell around. That's all they done. You just put the other face that way, that face that way, and the people thought, oh great, we got what we wanted. No, you're still in the cell. They haven't opened any door, you're still locked in. But this is going to change. It's going to change, and everybody's going to be unlocked. And when they're unlocked, then they start to understand their higher self. And when their higher self starts to awaken them to their truth, not my truth, not your truth, their truth, then they will be ready for the fourth dimension, for the fifth dimensional reality of Christ consciousness. And when you reach Christ consciousness, divinity of your sovereignty, when you step into your sovereignty and you rule over yourself, you rule over your kingship, you rule over your godness, because that's your divine right, is to be a god. Now, a lot of people haven't arrived there yet, but they will eventually. When we bring us all into the fourth dimension will be an explosion of truth, and people are going to be in shock, huge shock. But the new financial system will assist everybody. There'll be no more poverty on the planet, because poverty is an engineered device. It's been engineered. People sat around the table and they discussed, how do we put people into extreme poverty? It's calculated. It's unbelievably calculated. So people will work every day hard and still have nothing. And a lot of people have amnesia. They don't remember their family's family that goes back generations. What happened to all that wealth that they worked for, that they gathered, that they built? What happened to it? It was just taken away from them. So the people on the street that have no homes, the people that are poor, the people that are ill, the people that are in a situation that they can't defend themselves, it's all been planned. And then taking all these good men, really good men and good women, healthy women, what do? They put them in the army, sent them off to wars to get killed, and again regain the funds so they can continue on with their agenda. This is what's going on globally all over the world. Now this is all going to come to an end. very, very quickly. It is already come to an end. It's just playing out in divine timing. And the Palladians are in charge at the moment. There's many star systems that collaborate as an alliance under the Galactic Federation and under Lord Sanandra and the Astral Command. There's only 8 billion people on the planet. There's about 4.5 billion people already awake, and the rest are asleep. Now, there's 64 billion human beings up in the ships. And that's just human beings. And then there's trillions of other beings that are in the ships. And there's other visitors here to watch the show. This is the biggest show that's ever taken place in the universe at this time. And there's people here, there's beings here, you know, to observe and see how it's going to go down, you know, because this is like the biggest thing ever. So it's a very exciting time for everybody. It really is. It's absolutely amazing. So what we want to put out here at this moment is fear. Stay away from fear. Drop the fear. Drop the things that do not serve you. Just drop them. You know, being around situations that cause drama, unnecessary hate, unnecessary fear and negligence. Drop all of that. Go into a place, stay in the heart. It's all about the heart. You have to descend from your mind to the heart. Your heart chakra is 100 times more powerful than your mind. And as your heart chakra starts to expand, you bring in more of that light and energy that is being received on the planet, and it's coming up from the planet. You bring it into your body. And as you bring it into the body, you shine. You become you. You become the divine being that you are. And as you become this divine being, you're there to express and to give and to help everybody, because you have the most purest intentions for everybody. Just imagine for 1 minute that every government on the planet had the most purest intentions for every human being on the planet. Yeah. It would change overnight. Boom. Everything would change. We'd all wake up in the morning and everything would be different.